what people go through, Art. So I believe we got to be compassionate towards each other, and that compassionate should extend to black businesses. I do think there should be a limit on it. I don't think nobody should allow themselves to be constantly taken advantage of by somebody just because they're a black business. But I do think there should be some compassion in there. And I would also say the more money you spend, the less patience you should have. Like when we renovated the school, you're talking about a lot of money, right? Tens of thousands of dollars. So if you don't get it right, I don't know if I can give you 3 strikes. I might can only give you 1 strike if I'm dealing with an automobile repair, if I'm dealing with a home purchase, if I'm dealing with a school renovation. That's different, Art. That's high level sales. But then I got to come back and say this. Didn't China just expose Prada, Gucci, and Louis Vuitton? According to the Chinese, allegedly, Prada, Gucci, and Louis Vuitton, brand names that we spend thousands of dollars for, they were getting them made in China for pennies, Art, sending it to America, and black people was buying that stuff up. So help me understand why I got a problem spending a little extra. And the brother didn't say this. This is me just speaking generally about black businesses. I'm not speaking on him anymore. But help me understand how some black people have a problem supporting black businesses, but here you are getting fleeced by Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and Prada, spending top dollar on Chinese knockoffs, and ain't nobody said nothing. So if you will let Prada, Louis Vuitton, and Gucci scam you on millions of dollars of expensive consumer goods, don't come to me complaining about no black business and what they can't do for you after the type of money we spend with these white folks. So my position, respect to the brother, I don't think he meant it that way. I think he's going to clear it up. But when I hear black people say, oh, he need to be canceled. Did you cancel the police who killed our people? Did you cancel Donald Trump? Donald Trump was convicted of sex assault, and you still went out and voted for him to be president of the United States. Did you cancel him? I'm trying to understand how black people want to cancel people who say something we don't like. But you got Caucasians out here unaliving black people every day, and you don't cancel them. You even got black people out here forgiving white people for slavery. How the hell you going to forgive white people for slavery and you want to cancel a brother because he misspoke about black businesses one time? We got to be a little bit more patient with each other. I support black businesses, and I don't rock with anybody who don't. Black power.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't think we should cancel Wallo. I think, like Umar said, we just took it the wrong way. We took it in a way of, we kind of took it in a way of offense. We like, he don't mess with black businesses, or like he's saying fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Wallo tried to take it that way, but just let me know what y'all think down below in the comments, man. For real. Hey.
The deal includes billions of dollars of increased market access for American exports.
I am outside the White House, where Donald Trump just announced a trade agreement with the United Kingdom. It's the first trade agreement that he's announced since he started implementing new tariffs and really upended U.S. trade policy.
They're opening up the country. Their country is a little closed, and we appreciate that.
The deal is not finalized yet, but the details that we're getting from the Trump administration and Downing Street in the UK is that this will lower tariffs for the United Kingdom on certain goods. So, for example, ethanol, steel, and things the United States wants or ships to the UK, the tariffs will be lowered. There was a 25% tariff on autos, but that will be lowered to 10% for the first 100,000 cars the UK exports to the United States.
We've agreed to let Rolls-Royce engines and those kind of plane parts to come over tariff-free. And what you're going to hear today is there's going to be an announcement in the UK that they are buying $10 billion worth of Boeing planes.
It appears to have been arranged very hastily. They talked about how Donald Trump made a final last-minute call last night to Keir Starmer.
In the end, it comes down to,
as you say, Donald, economic security is national security. On national security, we've been absolutely
the closest of allies.
The 10% baseline tariff that Donald Trump has implemented across the board for all countries is staying in place for most goods.
That's a low number. They made a good deal. Some will be much higher because they have massive trade surpluses.
This upcoming weekend, all eyes really are going to be on how these talks go with China and Switzerland. It's the first time that the major leaders of the US and China have gotten together, and the idea is that these guys are going to talk about the trade war that has escalated and is resulting in more expensive consumer goods for Americans.
Ain't gonna lie, that's good. What y'all think? More agreements to come, more things to come. What y'all thinking? What y'all thinking, man? Hey, let me know down below in the comments, man. Let me know what y'all thinking.
Wake that ass up in the morning. The Breakfast Club.
We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get some front page news. Now, if you're just joining us, last night the Knicks beat the Celtics 91-90.
You said that already.
Thunder beat the Nuggets 149-106-1-1. Just in case people just waking up, just got here. In case she didn't know, just letting her know.
I didn't know. What happened?
See, the Knicks beat the Celtics 91-90. They lead the series 2-0.
Okay.
Now,
they gotta close the deal though. None of this means nothing if they don't close the deal. Up 2-0?
Yes.
Now you coming back home?
Yes.
Right? We could be singing a whole different tune next Monday, okay?
That's all right. We'll be all right. Now, also tonight, the Golden State Warriors take on the Timberwolves. Steph Curry will miss at least a week.
That hurt.
After suffering a hamstring strain. So he's out for a week. That's really going to hurt for them.
Am I the only person that be hearing hamstring strain and think it sounds tasty? Don't it be sounding tasty?
Hamstring
like hamstring strain.
No.
Like a strained hamstring sound like it tastes good. You put it on the grill.
Oh, my goodness.
No.
You don't even eat ham.
No, I don't.
Again.
Could be a hamburger though.
Oh, hey y'all. Good morning. I didn't even hear. I'm just hamstring strain and what the what? All right, y'all. Let's get into the front page news. So 3 former Memphis police officers, have been found not guilty in the Tyre Nichols murder trial. They were charged with beating Nichols to death back in 2023, and that was caught on video. Now, Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justin Smith all were found not guilty of all charges. Now, let's take a listen to the verdict reading in part.
The verdicts read as follows. Count 1, second-degree murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tadarius Bean, not guilty. Count 1. We, the jury, find the defendant, Demetrius Haley, not guilty. Count 1. We, the jury, find the defendant, Justice Smith, not guilty.
So count 1, as mentioned in the audio, was second-degree murder. There was also count 2, aggravated assault, and count 3, aggravated kidnapping with bodily injury. Also, all of those charges not guilty. So while they were acquitted in this state trial, they already faced the possibility of years in prison after they were convicted on the federal level last year. Now, this case, again, as I mentioned, was for the state of Tennessee. So.
How did they come to the conclusion about the not guilty verdict? Because, sadly, I forgot about this case after it happened. 2023 was so long ago, and I remember when the situation first happened, and it was a big deal. But I saw that verdict yesterday, and I was like, oh my God, I completely forgot about this whole situation.
Well, this is on the state level. Remember, again, like I said, they have been charged and convicted on the federal level. But you know how it goes with the jury. It's a reasonable doubt. So maybe the prosecution wasn't able to prove this case to beyond a reasonable doubt to that particular jury. So that's how that goes.
And it was on video, if I remember correctly, right?
Yes, it was. Absolutely. That beating was on video. In other news, the official mourning period for the Pope is over, and the process to select a new Pope is underway in Rome. And that process is known as a conclave. Now, 133 cardinals, electors, including New York's Archbishop Timothy Dolan, must isolate in the Sistine Chapel until a new Pope is chosen. Here's what Archbishop Timothy Dolan had to say before going into the conclave.
It's Wednesday, and this is the day we enter the conclave, and I'm about ready to go into the Domus Sancta Marta. So this could be the last time I talk to you in a couple of days. So folks, I won't be able to talk to you until you see the white smoke. I look forward to doing that. Keep us in your prayers.
Yeah, so this after swearing oaths of secrecy and attending a final pre-conclave mass at St. Peter's Basilica. The cardinals have handed over their cell phones and must cut off all communication with the outside world. Voting will continue until a candidate receives 2/3 majority to become the late Pope Francis' successor. That's when will see that white smoke rise from the chapel. Until then, black smoke will be seen following each round of votes, and the voting resumes today.
I was going to say, how long does it usually take? How long is it taking in the past? Do we know?
I want to say just as long as it takes, honestly. But usually just a few weeks or about a week or so.
A few weeks. Yeah. Wow.
Why they don't do a reality show? They don't have reality shows over there?
Oh no, this is old school. What is it? Secret society. All we ask is trust type stuff.
Man, we could do Making the Pope.
You know what? I would have watched too. I ain't gonna.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think it's gonna take that long because the Pope just spoke. Not the Pope, but what is he? The Cardinal?
New York's Archbishop Timothy Dolan. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he knows the Knicks are playing, so he gonna get out of there by Saturday.
Oh my gosh!
Now watch, he gonna get out. The Knicks haven't been in a long time. I'm sure he's a Knicks fan. He gonna be out by Saturday.
Well, wrapping things up at 6 a.m., speaking of people who want to be the Pope, allegedly, President Trump says he will make a major trade announcement today. In a post on Truth Social, he said he'll hold a news conference in the Oval Office and that the deal will be that it's a deal with a big and highly respected country. Now, he closed the post by saying the first deal of many. Just over a month ago, Trump announced global tariffs on U.S. imports and in an effort to boost American manufacturing and protect jobs. So there's a possibility that this could be China, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. And
what if Trump makes a announcement that he's doing a deal with that island that only got penguins? What is that major announcement?
I'm like,
because you put tariffs on an island that only had penguins on it. I think it's called Herd Island or something like that. What if that's his big announcement?
Oh my gosh! I mean, well,
what did he put tariffs on it for?
Who knows? It would be more brand for the president. So
nothing there but penguins.
That's your front page news for 6 a.m. Stick around at 7 a.m. We're talking Federal Reserve Chair.
No, some front page news. Now, some quick sports. The Knicks beat the Celtics last night, 91-90. They lead the series 2-0. The Thunder destroyed the Nuggets 149-106. Jesus, that series is tied 1-1. And the Golden State Warriors play the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight, but Steph Curry will miss at least a week after suffering a hamstring strain. So it'll be out for a week.
It don't make no sense for a team to score 149 points and they're not an all-star team. Right? Those are all-star team numbers, man. 149 points?
That's crazy.
They had 87 points in the first half. That's ridiculous.
That's crazy. All right. What's up, Morgan?
Hey, y'all. Hey. So I want to correct something that I said in the last segment about how long it takes for a new pope to be voted on. Now, traditionally, I said a few weeks or a week or so, and traditionally the conclave has varied in length, but most recent conclave says it has taken about 2 to 3 days. And of course, this is day 2. So hopefully, like you said, Envy, the new pope will surface and maybe he will be a New Yorker and he can watch the game. Who knows? I don't know. And to answer the question of the caller, the jury in the Tyree Nichols trial did appear to be all white. So jury of your peers, maybe they were police officers, but again, Lauren is going to elaborate on that. But
you got an all-white jury for 3 black cops.
Mm-hmm. So back into front page news, the Federal Reserve is leaving interest rates unchanged, but he has also said there's a lot of positivity around the economy, despite the future being uncertain. Let's take a listen to Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell make these comments following the announcement.
My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on achieving our dual mandate goals of maximum employment and stable prices for the benefit of the American people. Despite heightened uncertainty, the economy is still in a solid position. The unemployment rate remains low, and the labor market is at or near maximum employment. Inflation has come down a great deal, but has been running somewhat above our 2% longer run objective.
So it comes as recent economic reports have sent mixed signals on the state of the economy. Inflation still remains above the central bank's target of 2%, not to mention tariffs implemented by the White House remain in place, including the 145% tariff against China. But who knows, that could be, again, like I talked earlier about Trump's announcement.
Hey, Morgan, one thing they're not going to do is lie to people about their pockets. You know what I'm saying? You can tell us all of these different things about the economy. The GDP is this and inflation is this, but people know how their pockets feel. That's the same thing the Biden administration used to do. The Biden administration used to say, oh, the economy is good. You know, the stock market is high. I ain't got no goddamn stocks. Okay? So you can't lie to people about how their pockets are feeling.
Yeah, transportation is another one, and seemingly you can't pull the wool over each other's eyes. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is set to announce today his plan for overhauling the nation's air traffic control system. This comes amidst continuing delays at Newark Liberty Airport, resulting from communication blackouts